Chapter 6. Beneath the mango trees' watchful leaves. In that sun-drenched Jamaican village, where time flowed like molasses and secrets whispered through the mango leaves, Alvin, Betty, and Margaret tiptoed toward reconciliation. Trust, fragile as a butterfly's wing, began to flutter back into their lives. Margaret, her eyes softened by remorse, extended an olive branch, an invitation to the river. "Betty," she said, "let's return to our childhood haunt, where the water sings and memories ripple." Alvin, ever the cautious guardian, raised an eyebrow. "Margaret," he said, "don't you see? Betty's carrying life within her. How will she manage the water?" Margaret laughed. "Alvin," she retorted, "I've swum in English lakes and Jamaican coves. I earned my 1,000-meter badge, you know." Alvin's skepticism clung like morning dew. "Old lessons," he muttered. "And Betty, you promised to stay close to the bank?" Betty, her belly round as a ripe ackee, nodded. "I'll dip my toes, Alvin, no deeper." So they set off, the duo past the guava groves, along the winding path, until the river's song grew louder. The water, cool and inviting, cradled their memories. Margaret and Betty waded in, their laughter echoing off the mossy stones. Hours slipped by, and the sun dipped low, casting golden nets across the water. But Alvin's heart clenched. Where were they? Panic gnawed at him like a hungry mongoose. He beckoned a local child, eyes wide with curiosity. "Have you seen Betty?" he asked. The child shook her head. "No, Mr. Alvin, but saw her scarf on the riverbank. I thought it was strange because she rarely comes here." Alvin's breath hitched. He examined the scarf, a familiar weave, Betty's favorite. "Go home," he told the child, his voice brittle, "and pray." With a torch and a rope, Alvin raced toward the river. Halfway down the lane, he glimpsed them, Margaret and Betty, arms linked, laughter bubbling like spring water. Relief flooded Alvin. "Where were you?" he scolded, but his eyes held tears. "You had me fearing the worst." Margaret grinned, unrepentant. "We lost track of time," she said. "Betty's stories are like hidden treasure." Betty, her cheeks flushed, added, "And Margaret's swimming skills, impeccable." They walked back together, the three of them. Alvin's stern words melted into gratitude, for in that fading light, trust was stitched anew, and the river whispered forgiveness. And as they reached home, Alvin couldn't help but smile. "Next time," he teased, "I'll bring a lifebuoy." Margaret laughed. Betty beamed.